Ganondorf was dead. With him finally defeated, I decided to do something I'd been waiting hours to do. I really wanted to get up to this island. It had been beckoning me from above like a siren, but when I finally did reach it, I was done. Tears of the Kingdom was over for me. It had caught my eye initially because it looked like such a challenge to reach. It would be fun building some crazy contraption, so that's exactly what I did. Naturally, my first attempt went wrong, so I tried again, hoping speed would be my friend. But that didn't work either. Eventually, I found you could simply glide over. Skyview Towers, always the answer. Although a little disappointing, it was nothing compared to how I felt once I actually reached the island. It was a King Gleeok. A King Gleeok that wasn't even as cool as the King Gleeok I'd already defeated in the depths. I'd spent so many hours wondering what was up there. A double-edged Master Sword? The Triforce itself? Tingle? I don't know what I'd been expecting, but I do know that it wasn't good enough. For a game that had disappointed me several times already, this was the final straw. When I was playing through Breath of the Wild, I never knew what to expect, especially when just following my nose. Every time I climbed over another hill, it was the beginning of a brand new mini-adventure. Heck, even a simple tree could be exciting, and I'm sure you felt this too. For me, this island sums up Tears of the Kingdom. New content, yeah, but no real call to adventure.
Do you recall your first time playing Ocarina of Time, stepping out of Kokiri Forest onto Hyrule Field? That sensation you felt was a connection to the hero's journey, a timeless storytelling framework that's very familiar to Zelda fans like us. Link stepped out of his comfort zone, pulled by a call to adventure that guided him towards a bigger purpose and into the unknown. When Tears of the Kingdom was announced, we were all pretty unsure how unknown it was going to be. Reusing the same map from Breath of the Wild? Okay, I guess. But it became quickly apparent that a lot of the legwork would be done by the depths and the Sky Islands as far as unknown was concerned. I'm guessing your trip through the depths was a lot like ours. At first, you're shocked. Whoa, a huge underground map? Sweet! You could hardly see a thing, just squinting to make out what's in front of you. Just one problem. Walk 100 paces in any direction and congratulations, you've seen all there is to see in the depths. I mean, it could have been something like the Twilight Realm or the Dark World, but it wasn't, was it? It was like it had been procedurally generated. It was depressing, gloomy, repetitive, and boring. There's loads of cool stuff down there. It wasn't boring. Not as boring as you, maybe.
This island is actually one of 3 similar floating islands, each with another King Gleeok. The fact that each of them are pretty much the same hammers my point home even harder. This island turned into a key moment. I realized I'd seen everything there was to see in Tears of the Kingdom, and that realization came shockingly soon. By the time you've explored some parts of the Sky Islands and some of the depths, you've seen enough. Everything else would amount to mindless completionism. I only stopped playing Breath of the Wild once I realized I'd seen pretty much all there was to see. After hundreds of hours, my adventure was complete. It was done. There were no more unknowns, nothing more unseen, no more adventure to be had. Tears of the Kingdom dries up quickly because you've seen it all before, and the parts you haven't seen before, well, they're as deep as the bathtub thing in the Shrine of Resurrection. This Sky Island, the one that looks so inviting, was the last hurrah, the last opportunity the game had to surprise me, and it failed.
Maybe Tears of the Kingdom isn't dead to us, just resting. Sure, a Gleeok wasn't the most creative thing to put up there, but a King Gleeok fight in the sky? It's still totally epic. So much of this game is fantastic. The mechanics are just too good. Genuinely a miracle they get a system like this working on Switch. Shame it was a waste of time. I've seen lunatics on YouTube build tanks and crazy death machines. Quite amazing what you can build. Great to watch. Zero reason to actually build them, of course. Makes you wonder what the next Zelda game will end up looking like. I was gonna sarcastically suggest a mech suit, and then I remembered Tears already had one. What do you mean, wonder what the next game will look like? You mean this?